This is Levon Brown. I'm doing a podcast on injury prevention. This is very informational, I think, for all athletes, how to stretch, what to stretch, how everything is going. The trainer in the video is her name is Miranda. I worked with her in the course of 4 months. I just got here. She's a very good trainer, and I think she knows what she's talking about. So I just wanted to show you guys this, and hopefully you enjoy the video.
Hi, I'm Miranda Jensen. I'm an athletic trainer here at Texas Tech, working primarily with track and field and cross country. Levon has asked me to do a small demonstration about some of the things we do for injury prevention, really isolated to the groin, hips, knees, and hamstring muscles. So what we're going to do is just show you a couple exercises. So a big part of what we do is identifying people with risk factors and then working on preventing those injuries. So a huge part of that is making sure that flexibility and strength are appropriate for what that student athlete or athletic individual or whoever is going to be wanting to fulfill and to succeed at. So for us, a lot of our student athletes, they need both muscular power and endurance to be able to either run how they like, jump, it's a throw, whatever their event may be. So what we're going to start with is just kind of some general principles, and then we could kind of move into some more specific ones. So first off, flexibility. Flexibility is a huge component of what creates a healthy student athlete. So we not only need to have flexibility, but also a balance between opposing muscle groups. So your quadriceps to hamstring muscle, or your adductors, so your groin muscles, to your glutes or your adductors. Okay, so to make sure that those are kind of in sync, so we don't get a muscle imbalance that can cause other problems. So for an example of that, a lot of people, when they get low back pain or they have an adductor problem, okay, a huge piece of that is that their glute flexibility may not be where it needs to be, okay? So if we have someone who we've identified as having maybe an adductor weakness or insufficiency, then we can take them through some glute stretching exercises. So one of those would be a figure 4 stretch. You bring them up and you get actually into a position where the knee is bent to 90 degrees, the hip is bent to 90 degrees, and that person can hold this for a sustained amount of time while also creating different angles. So you can either bend forward or sit your hips down, or you can even take a band and create a little space on the hip joint to create a little traction and open up that hip as well, and that can help relax those muscles so you can get a better stretch. So that's one stretch we can do. We can also use what's called a stretch strap, and this we use for hamstrings, adductors, glutes, pretty much everything, to get in different positions and to be able to hold that sustained stretch position. So for us, if you're working on a hamstring, it's really important that you recognize that there are 3 different hamstring muscles, okay? And they all have different fibers. So they all need to get stretched in a different way. So you have a straight leg at 90 degrees. You can cross over and get more of that lateral hamstring component. Or you can even open it up and rotate that heel up so you get more of that medial hamstring. Same thing, you can come back into the figure 4 stretch that I just showed, and then you can also bring it out to the side and get those adductor muscles, okay? So that's one tool. We can also stretch the quadriceps that way by coming down onto your belly and bending up like that. So that is the stretching component that I can show you today. The other part is the strengthening. So once you've identified something that has a weakness, you need to make sure that you're actively strengthening it. And so there are a few different ways to strengthen muscles. So there are isometric holds, there's concentric holds, and then eccentric strengthening. And so for us, a lot of what we do is eccentric phase and isometric strengthening, because in our weight room, we do a lot of the concentric and heavy explosive lifts. And so for us, we do a lot more of a focus on those eccentric exercises and really slow controlled and making sure that the activation patterns are correct. So one thing that we do, like I was saying before, is if you have an adductor issue or even a hamstring issue, glute strengthening is so important. So you can bring that band around your knees, okay? And then you can do what's called a lateral band walk, where you do small steps with that band, either on your knees or then your ankle. So you can do it in either position, okay? You can also make that more of a dynamic exercise by actually doing like a star jump with it. So you can do a squat jump and then land in that squat position again and have to control that landing. One exercise we do for adductor strengthening is anytime that you squeeze something between your legs, you're activating the adductors and kind of waking those up. And so you can press through the knees, squeeze the ball, and then lift. You can also do that with a body weight squat, so keeping that ball between your knees and making sure that you are stabilizing not only the adductor, but also completing the motion with quality.
Okay, now you said earlier about eccentric. Can you explain more what eccentric means?
Yeah, so eccentric means that you are strengthening that muscle group while it's in a lengthened position or a lengthening position. So for example, if I was doing a bicep curl, okay, your bicep is getting worked, the resistance is in my hand, that ball, and so it's shortening, okay? And so that's a concentric exercise. An isometric exercise is if there's no change to that muscle length, but it's still having resistance. So the ball is still in my hand creating resistance, but the muscle is not moving. For eccentric, I'm gonna be having this ball and I need to slowly bring it down and control that while that muscle is lengthening and the resistance is in my hand still. Okay. All right, I think that's pretty much all I have off the top of my head if you have questions.
All right, thank you.